backs. First ever win there in Colorado Springs. 2 goals, big time for Felix Chankum.
2 goals in a short span. Check it out there. 51st minute on the scorecard, and here he is just a few minutes later as he pulls it downfield. Look at the composure. Great strike. He does not play like an 18-year-old, and he is a big part of why this team is red hot right now.
3 goals now for Felix Chankum. Great stuff. On the other side, Portland Timbers 2 hosting San Antonio. They had a rough one. They ended up 4-0 loss, but this was not a 4-0 scoreline, Andrew.
No, absolutely not, Aaron. They controlled 68% of possession in the first half. You see here these last 2 goals get put in extra time. Really, it was a much better game than the 4-0 scoreline suggests, and that's kind of been the story of their season we'll talk about once the match gets going.
Of course, the last meeting between these two was on April 2nd. Villian Bijev scored a great goal to get Timbers 2 started, but then Shea Adekoya responded with this equalizer.
And once again, just a few minutes later, here they are. Henry Wingo sends it across, Zach Mathers puts it in, and this is starting to become a trend with this S2 team, Aaron, where they punch in a goal, and you better pay attention for the next 6 minutes, because if they score, they're going to come try to grab another, and several times this season, they've managed to do just that.
And Sounders, too, looking for their 2nd win against Timbers 2 this season. Felix Chankum, of course, we just mentioned him, Colorado Springs. They'll be looking for him to do that, just that tonight.
Absolutely. The brace last week puts him onto the USL Team of the Week. He has not scored here yet at Starfire Stadium, but Ezra Henderson has a bunch of confidence and very high hopes for the young Cameroonian, and he says, listen, he might have an awkward run-up, but the kid can finish, and he's been doing that for S2 lately.
And those 2 finishes, those were absolutely class, and he did say that. 3 goals now for Felix Chankum. On the other side, Portland Timbers 2 coming in with a defender who last year showed a lot of talent and a lot of maturity for his age. He was 17 last year, 18 this year, Marco Farfan.
Yeah, Marco Farfan. He's just so fun to watch. He reads the game so well defensively for a young player. He's still in high school, Aaron, and the Timbers whole organization rightfully really high on this kid. His ceiling, no one knows how high he could go. Exciting to watch.
Definitely an exciting player for the future. We will be back after this with the starting lineup and the Portland Timbers at Seattle Sounders 2. Back after this.
Raise the stakes. Expectations are high. Our biggest season yet will break records with elite players and future stars, innovative technology, and new homes. We're growing the game in our communities and across the nation. Are you ready?
Welcome back, Starfire Sports Stadium, Seattle Sounders 2, Portland Timbers 2. Big rivalry tonight. Let's get straight into the lineups here. First, for the visiting Portland Timbers 2. See up top, Augustine Williams, 2 goals for him. Of course, Villian Bijev there out on the left. Andrew, how about that back line?
Yeah, I mean, it's a solid back line. Farfan, Batista, Renico Clark, and Harold Hansen. There are 4 guys. I mean, Hansen getting just his second start tonight, but those 3 other guys, it's really a dangerous-looking group. Also, Russell Cicerone and Omar Mohamed, the 2 forwards up top, getting their first start for T2 tonight.
And for the Seattle Sounders, too.
Yeah, you take a look here. David Olson, Shannon Hopiau, Irvin Parr. There's just so many attacking options coming in off the wing. A lot of great opportunities to serve in some dangerous balls for Felix Chankum, and Chankum's not afraid to throw his body at something a little bit speculative, see if he can bully one into the net.
Of course, the second start there for Brian Meredith. Hasn't started in goal since the very beginning game here on March the 26th against Sacramento. Referees for tonight, Farhad Dodko is in the center. Cephas Quartzen, Christian Clerk are the assistant referees, and our 4th official tonight, Chuck Spaniola. Just going to see the captains meeting up here between Meredith and Kendall McIntosh.
Just a beautiful night for soccer here in the Pacific Northwest. Everyone in our likely viewing audience, both down in Portland and up here in Seattle, can appreciate finally the clouds have parted, and none too soon. Just last night there were thunderstorms in this very area, and we're much happier to be sunny skies and clear conditions.
Yeah, anybody knows like you said, anybody knows the Starfire area. There's a lot of fields around it, and a lot of clubs come play, and tryouts were postponed last night and are going on tonight. So there's all kinds of players going on at all the fields around us. It's a great atmosphere here. The officials get their photos. We're about to get underway. Portland Timbers 1-6 right now.
Yeah, but
Sounders
again,
2, 3, and 4. But yeah, as you were saying, Andrew,
I think they're so much better than their record suggests. That 4-0 to San Antonio, who are, by the way, the best team in the West right now. The only multi-goal loss they've taken this season. You take a look at the scorelines: 2-1 to Real Monarchs, 1-0 to Swope Park, 2-1 to S2, and 2-1 to Orange County. Just, you know, the losses. You can't say quality losses when you're 1-6, but I really believe this team is better than its record suggests.
I completely agree with you. And you take a look at their one victory. They've had a 2-0 win at Sacramento, which is one of the most difficult places to play. In fact, Sounders, too, have never accomplished that feat, winning in Sacramento. So T2, definitely a team to be reckoned with. And they're certainly coming with a new look under head coach Andrew Greger tonight. Omar Mohamed, we talked about him, Harold Hansen, and Russell Cicerone all getting their first start. See what they can bring to the field tonight. The other side, pretty familiar look here for S2. Again, Ray Sari, Francisco Narbone sitting in that midfield. Sam Rogers, Irvin Parra, Shannon Hopiau, David Olson, Felix Chankum. That 4 started at Colorado Springs last weekend.
Well, you know, Ezra Hendrickson is the kind of manager that once he finds this unit that he really thinks has the confidence and the right amount of chemistry, he's going to put him out there, and he's going to let him just take a run at it. I think S2 has really kind of found their groove these last couple of games, even though the results haven't necessarily gone the way they wanted.
Of course, the nature of S2, that's not always easy to do, to have a consistent side like that, but you're right, he's managed to pull it off. Sounders 2 here in the all-white, going from right to left. Timbers 2 in the green. About to get underway under Mr. Dodcote. Sun is out. Scarves are up here at Starfire Sports Stadium, and we are about to get underway. Second cascade clash between these two sides has begun. S2 with the ball first. First half between these two teams back in April ended 0-0. Not too many chances, but things opened up in the second half. Can we expect anything different tonight?
You know, I think even just the difference of it being, you know, match day 8 now as opposed to match day 2, the teams have so much of a better idea of where their teammates are going to be. The USL preseason is basically non-existent, especially if you're bringing in an international guy. I mean, Rodrigue El wasn't even here when that first game took place, and he's out there on the pitch tonight. So I think that's going to be a really different factor, and I think the game's going to look a lot cleaner as a result for those who've watched both contests.
And there's El right there dealing with that. Augustine Williams takes it off him. Now Lewis. Lewis again. Bijev gives it away. Olsen takes over. S2 goes long, looking for Chankum. That's going to be nodded away. by Lamar Batista. Nice work there from Olsen, picks up a foul. Free kick for S2. Keep an eye tonight on the center back, number 47, Renico Clark. He's got 4 yellow cards right now.
Crafty work from Olsen there. So good controlling that ball in the air. Strikes it pretty well out of the air too, as we saw in a loss here against San Antonio. Or forgive me, Real Monarchs. He punched in that volley.
That was the equalizer in the second half for the Monarchs. Picked up 2 more. Both these teams ended up losing to San Antonio, as we talked about before, but dominating possession, good flow of play, and were just a few little mistakes. They paid for it. It's a good run here from Parra. He scored a penalty kick, opened up the scoring for Sounders 2, and Colorado gets the cross in. Cleared away by T2. Rogers. Riley Grant. There's Cicerone. Omar Mohammed operating on the left side there. Bijev in the center, Cicerone out on the right in this 4-3-3 formation.
Dan, you know, the 4-3-3, a lot of people take a look at it and go, well, how's that different from a 4-2-3-1, which is what Timbers 2 were operating the last time they came here.
Long ball over the top. Williams gets a shot off. Meredith will easily cover it.
Well done by Meredith. He's enough of a veteran to know that ball wasn't going on frame, but didn't want to concede the corner kick early. Does well to come out of the goal. But just to finish up that thought about the formation difference, it's a little bit more forward-minded. You'll notice fresh subs up top, as it were. 2 new wingers coming in. Maybe Andrew Greger just thinks that a slight shift of personnel will cause those balls that hit the woodwork that were right on the doormat to actually go across the goal line.
One of the late subs we saw in that game against San Antonio last week, Harold Hansen, 17-year-old, showed some exciting footwork. Bijev pressures Grant. Throw goes for S2.
Yeah, Harold Hansen has represented the U.S. at pretty much every level he's been eligible to so far. The U.S. U15, U16s, the U18s. Comes to Timbers 2 from FC Golden State in the USSDA.
USSDA, the United States Soccer Development Academy, the big academy out here as that ball gets away from Olsen. Every MLS club has a team in it, including all the bigger clubs around the country, and they compete eventually for the national championships. A little different than what it used to be all those years ago. Hansen with the long throw. Williams. Nice work from Bijev. Closed down quick by Narbonne. He'll break away. It's tackled away, though. Bouncing all over the place. Here's Shannon Hopiau. Springs in Olsen. Chance for David Olsen. Gets the shot away. It's stopped by McIntosh. Dribbles across. Parra goes down. Farhad Dodko is standing right here, and he points to the spot.
Well, and Harold Hansen can't believe it. Didn't look like there was too much contact from this angle. We'll have to wait for another look. But look at that ball. Great vision from Hopiau. David Olsen shoots it. There's Chankum there for a possible rebound. And you know what? On second glance, it was blocked by the glare, but I think that's the right call. I do believe that Harold Hansen tangled up Irvin Parra's foot.
It's a great job by Parra to come right across Hansen's body. Unlucky for the young man in his first start. It's going to be frustrating for T2 to see that. Here's an opportunity for Parra. He put one away last weekend in Colorado Springs. Chance to get his second goal on the season. Parra's done it. 1-0 lead early on for S2 here, just 6 minutes into the game.
Wow, frustrating for Timbers 2, but S2 flying out of the gates here. They attacked early, they made the most of a possible turnover, really drove their way into the box. And look at the composure from Irvin Parra. Just absolute professionalism, calm, clean, on the ground, no doubt in anyone's mind, and S2's up.
Kendall McIntosh read it, but great finish from Irvin Parra, just out of his reach. S2 take the lead early on here. What a start for Ezra Hendrickson.
I give additional credit to McIntosh for being able to read that. If you look back, as we'll see that highlight in the second half, the sun's directly in his eyes there, and Parra is 12 yards away in the shade. So hard to acquire that ball when your eyes are trying to adjust like that.
Great finish from Parra. Gave the keeper no chance. T2 going to have to regroup and see how they respond. Here's Chankum. Holds off Lewis. Back out to Hopiao. His cross caused all the problems in the first place. Early on, good move from Chankum again. Puts it across. Ball bouncing around. S2 have a corner. First of the match.
Well, and here we go. We talked about it just a couple minutes ago. And this team, once they get goal dangerous, they stay goal dangerous.
One of their biggest, after they've scored a couple goals in the past couple of matches, S2 just had to be so careful about making mistakes, letting teams back into the game. But so far, everything seems to be under control. Here's Sari's first cross in. Nodded away, can't clear. Olsen. Hansen is there. Now it's a through ball. Here's a chance on the break. It's Williams. Cicerone to his right, puts him in. Just across his body too far. Cicerone holds it up. Nanasinkum. The touch. Hansen has it. Gives it away to Ray Sari. Great example right there. Here's S2. Can they break on the, going the other way? Hopiao. Taking on Farfan. Farfan does well to slow him up. And he's called for the foul. There's the example right there, Andrew. Opportunity in the box in the corner by S2. And just like that, Augustine Williams is sprinting across the halfway line.
Yeah, just a slight mistake on the back line. The cover drifted too far to one side. They lost track of a man on the far end. And, you know, good recovery to hold up that play. But it's risky.
I've certainly seen S2 punished for those in the past. They get away with this one. Sari will take the free kick. Ninth minute. Seattle Sounders 2 lead 1-0 on Portland Timbers 2. Penalty kick from Irvin Parra in the 6th minute after he was brought down by right back Harold Hansen. Ray Sari whips it across. Good touch there by Lamar Batista. Williams working for it. Can't keep it in, throwing for S2.
Well, you can see right here, Timbers 2 going to be pretty happy to try to sit back and absorb these chances for the Sounders. They got Augustine Williams and Omar Mohammed up there on the left side. And just great speed out of Mohammed, as we've already seen from the 20-year-old so far. So the counter will be a viable threat.
Parra. Sam Rogers. Hopiao finds Olsen. Lewis cuts it out. T2 in possession. Granito. Of course, T2 without some of their real speed tonight. And Arboleda, Victor Arboleda, Nico Brett, either in the 18.
Yeah, Brett. Player who's kind of struggled start this season. 7 goals and 3 assists in 28 appearances for Timbers 2 last year. Hasn't been able to find the back of the net this year. He's a player with enough quality, you know, if you give him time, it will come, but tonight it's left him off the team sheet.
Parra's touch just takes him out of bounds, throwing for T2. Ball's given right back. Parra again on it. Lively so far in these first few minutes. Gets the cross away. Farfan's there. Bijev finds Williams. Good touch from him. S2 closing T2 down as quick as possible. They'll slow it down. Pressure from Chankum. Now Olsen. Ball's knocked long. Cicerone. Granito. Doesn't see Hopiao closing down Lewis. Gets away with it. T2 looking to keep a little possession here, get some momentum. Sorry. Got it back for Sounders 2. S2 looking to break again. Chankum got Parra out on the left. Grant getting around him. Parra still driving inside. It's tackled away now, Ray Sari. Possession hard for both teams at the moment. Riley Grant had made a great little run there, just around Parra. He chose to go inside.
Yeah, it's good instincts from the left back. He makes that run enough times, he will get rewarded for it. Just that time, Parra had other intentions.
This time, Parra tries the flick, cut out by Hansen. S2 will get the throw. We have a whistle blown here. Farhad Dodko just talking to Lamar Batista about something. Grant. Another throw for S2. That sun just now fading away, no longer as relevant in Kendall McIntosh's face. Still see a hint of it. Nice move by Ray Sari. He'll give it away. Lewis, cut out by Narbonne. Great read from him. Gets the pass wrong. McIntosh will keep it in.
And a little bit more difficult for McIntosh to keep in bounds than you might have initially thought. He's only 6 feet tall. In the modern day, you usually see taller keepers than that, but he has strong athletic frame, good instincts. Just every once in a while, the only thing you can't coach is height.
McIntosh, we've seen some incredible saves from him. Great reflexes, quick off his line. Had some impressive performances here. Even if the results haven't gone their way. We were talking about it before. T2 have never won here at Starfire Sports Stadium. 0-5 in league, 0-6 overall. They had one US Open Cup meeting back in 2015. They lost it in a shootout. Of course, neither T2 and S2 can play in the US Open Cup anymore. New league rules, as it would be a conflict of interest if S2 was to meet the Sounders Duke. Here's Cicerone, good turn from him. Rogers clears it away.
Yeah, I remember
for T2.
Speaking to Ezra Hendrickson before the season, I asked him, do you miss the Open Cup? And he goes, oh, absolutely, we miss the Open Cup. It's there's nothing like it, you know, especially in American soccer. It's just such a great experience. And honestly, for that, I understand the conflict of interest. But, you know, young players like this, it's such a great opportunity. I'm kind of the let the boys play mentality when it comes to the Open Cup.
Always brings exciting possibilities. Young teams in the PDL, serious adult amateur teams, everybody competes in it. Then eventually the MLS teams are thrown in there. McIntosh just going to clear this one away. It's been some classic upsets over the years. T2 with the cross in, not dealt with. Ball's going to bounce straight to Meredith. Nice work, though, by Omar Mohammed to get that ball in.
And Russell Cicerone just a little bit unlucky. That ball doesn't fall to his foot a little bit better. Maybe with another look at it, he could have trapped it differently. But Cicerone is goal dangerous. Had 2 goals and an assist last year in the PDL Championship, including the 87th minute game winner for the Michigan Bucks. And they took out Calgary Foothills in that match, a team from the Northwest Division of the PDL, where the Sounders U23s compete.
Nana Sinkum unable to keep that one in. It's going to be a throw in for T2 on the far side. If you're just joining us, Aaron Heinz and Andrew Harvey. S2 leading 1-0 on Timbers 2. A penalty kick by Irvin Parra 6 minutes into the game.
And it really has dictated the opening moves of this. You know, that 90 minutes is such a long time, still plenty of time for things to happen, but playing from in front, your shoulders always feel a little bit lighter.
Since then, T2 have settled in. Had most of the possession the last few minutes. Hansen just looking to get that. Doesn't get a touch. Grant will get the throw in for S2. Seen Riley Grant in both center back position and the left back. What do you make of him as a left back? Andrew?
You know, I like his instincts, especially coming forward. We talked about earlier, he makes such good runs. He really sees the game well coming forward. I think as a center back, his instincts are a little bit better from a defensive standpoint. Sometimes he has a little bit of difficulty tracking his men, especially when the game's in transition. So for him, that'll be the next big thing if he is going to settle into a left back spot, is to figure out how to track guys when the ball gets turned over and he has to come back from offense.
Went to school at Penn State. Here's T2. Cicerone. Cross away. Mohammed with the chance. Fires it right into Nanasinkum. Lewis goes from far out, but way over the top.
Andre Lewis opens fire from pretty much the same spot that Viljan Bijev scored in the first meeting between these two teams. And that time puts it high.
Bijev got the goal in T2's only win over S2 in Portland last year, 2016. 1-0 victory. Pressure there by Chenka. McIntosh is going to have some work to do. He has to go along with it.
We call it forechecking in hockey, but sufficient pressure upfield can create good things and good opportunities for you on offense.
And I'm sure defenders love it too when they see their forwards putting a little work in. Applying some pressure on that back line.
Well, a lot of defenders often feel like they're on the grittier end of the show horse, workhorse dichotomy. So always nice to see team defending.
Always helps to score goals, though. You can do whatever you want. If you're a forward, you can score goals.
Absolutely. Or if you're center back Sam Rogers and you score a goal, you get a fair amount of leeway too.
Sam Rogers getting his first goal in that game against San Antonio.
What a finish it was. Beautiful chip ball in from Nanasinkum. Two defenders just saying, hey man, let me help you out.
There's Rogers there winning the header to Narbonne. Goes over the top. Drops nicely for Sari. Looking to slip Chenka in, just misses him. Lewis coming the other way for T2. Mohammed. S2 get back quickly. T2 will recycle it.
And that's going to be one of the real matchups to watch tonight, is how do Rodrigue L and Sam Rogers handle Augustine Williams? I mean, he's 6'2". He's got a big frame, great verticality. You know, you put it near him, there's a good chance he's going to trap it.
Awkward ball from Clark back to McIntosh. He has to knock it out of bounds again, throwing for S2. Augustine Williams, 2 goals. The second one came April 8th. That loss at Orange County. Scored one as well back in their very first game against Real Monarchs. Nice ball from Sari to pick out Grant. Rogers. His pass is cleared away. Sari again picks that one up off Bijev. Shandon. Crosses in. Parra's unmarked. Can't put it on frames. A big chance there again from Irvin Parra.
Well, once again, this opportunity develops. Look at all the space Shannon Hopiau has. Marco Ferrofran too far in, and just an uncontested header. Someone missed an assignment as that ball was coming into the middle. Irvin Parra unlucky not to score there.
Just keeps that down. That would have been a big opportunity for S2 to go up. The second goal.
Aaron, you mentioned a moment ago, Augustine Williams, 2 goals for Timbers 2. That's actually tied for the team high. Viljan Bijev has 2. The issue becomes there's only one other player who's on the score sheet, and it's Arboleda, who's not in the 18 tonight as he's usually up with the first team.
And of course, that's something they'll be working on 5 goals on the season so far, 7 games in. They know they need to score more. That just comes eventually. And again, we talked about it in their game against San Antonio. They hit the woodwork twice. Big opportunities, just didn't fall for them. Sometimes that happens. Here's Augustine Williams now. And that's going to be a foul on Rodriguez. Quick start. Mohamed. Knocked over by Narbonne. Granito. Thomas Granito. There's a shot by Cicerone straight at Meredith. It's a man that looks for goal.
Well, Cicerone might not have known he was going up against the only other player on the pitch right now to have won a PDL championship. Brian Meredith won the 2011 title with the Kitsap Pumas. And of course, those Pumas were coached by none other than Seattle U legend and Sounders broadcaster Pete Fewing.
That's right, Pete Fewing played at the University of Washington, coached Seattle University. Absolute legend around here.
You know, the funny thing about Cascadia soccer, this is true in all 3 cities.
Jenkin with a shot way out there, kind of similar to Colorado Springs, maybe even further. Not going to beat Kendall McIntosh there.
Maybe a little bit more optimistic that time from Shankham. But the funny thing about these 3 markets is the longer you stick around, the more you realize that it's a very, very small universe the further you go back.
Good pressure again from Shankham. This time he catches Lewis. He'll start it quickly. Granito. Absolutely, Andrew. The more you stick around, more faces you know. One giant group of friends and family. Sorry, takes that off Bijev. Tries to pick out Shankham. He was through, but Clark cuts it out. Again, I feel like I mention this every game, but that's got to be 5 or 6 breakups from Ray Sari already tonight.
You know, Ezra Hendrickson must just be counting his lucky stars that he has 2 guys like Francisco Narbonne and Ray Sari that he can plug into this defensive central midfield and know that if there's anything sloppy that's put into the middle, they're going to come away with it. And they have pretty much all season, Aaron.
Been one of the real consistent factors on this team this season. Those 2 in the midfield. There's Granito over the top, looking for Cicerone. Cut out. Bijev is here. Hassled by Narbonne. It's a good tackle there from Rodriguez. Mohamed. Lewis. Saved by Bijev as his pass was going to be picked off by Shandon. Farfan. Bijev. Good touch from him around L. Bijev is in. Tackle from Rodriguez. It's a corner kick for Timbers 2, their first of the night.
Well, it's a bad mistake from Rodriguez. Just gets wrong-footed by Billy and Bielik. Jets have set him in, but he recovers well, makes the right decision, concede the corner. Don't try anything imaginative in front of your own net.
Bijev will take the corner. Four T2 players top of the box. Mohamed sitting on Brian Meredith. Ball's in by Bijev, headed away by Para. Lewis. Back out to Bijev. Bijev on Nanasinkum. Trying to get on that right foot of his. Sorry, clears it away, only as far as Granito. Sorry again, picks it up, this time off Lewis. Sorry down the left-hand side, he's got Para to his left out on the wing. Still going, Ray Sari, 1-2 with Shankham. It's going to be broken up by Baptista and cleared away. Nice run there by Ray Sari.
Well, we talked about his defensive capabilities, but he's a real spark plug. Give him a 5-yard open patch of field, and he'll get something going on offense.
Grant to Para. Para's offsides. Free kick for T2. Para's got those unusual guards where he wears them high up on his feet. You wonder, you typically get kicked lower than that. Some players just have their way of doing things. Long ball here. Mohamed has picked it out. Bijev can't control it. It's cleared away by Sam Rogers. Schenkem will chase. Dealt easily by Baptista.
Well, as you know too well, Aaron, as players get into higher echelons, they get very particular about their gear. Socks, cleats, shin guards, the way certain shorts are cut to fit. It's no matter what, the default is never quite good enough.
T2 just, again, putting Kendall McIntosh under some pressure with those back passes. He has to clear it away. That brings us to this point. Lewis won it back for T2. Now Narbonne has it. Farfan puts that against the bleachers. It'll be a throw-in for S2. Possession bouncing back and forth here the last 10-15 minutes. Now Sinkham's pass out of bounds. It's gonna be a throw-in for T2.
Aaron, I agree with your point about the possession just really flip-flopping in the last 10, but I again say just look back to that first game. Back then it was because the possession was sloppy. Here it's because the teams are really playing smart, hard-nosed defense. They're not letting anything cheap get by them. And as a result, it's resulting in well-earned turnovers.
Long ball there by Granito. Looking to pick out Cicerone. Grant will hit it away. Both these sides, as you mentioned, Andrew, a little more organized after 7 games. A little more prepared. T2 certainly had their lion's share of the possession. Ball over the top, looking for Farfan. Nana Sinkham's going to get there. Farfan's going to let it run out. Second corner for T2. Marco Farfan, youngest player to play for the Portland Timbers. 18 years, 120 days. That start against the Los Angeles Galaxy at the beginning of the MLS season. Pretty impressive.
Wow, well earned every second, every minute.
Bijev with the corner. Whips it in. Meredith is there, punches it away. Here's Granito. He's going to take a crack right into the head of Para. Bounces to Schenkem. Hansen gets to it first. It's going to be out of bounds.
It's the right instinct from Granito. Just want to send that ball back inside. Just put it towards the frame of goal. You never know what happens, especially if a goalie's already off his line as he's backpedaling, as he's tracking the ball. Well blocked.
Parr seems to be okay after taking that head shot. Rogers. Still going with Sam Rogers. Finds Para. One away by Granito. Ball bouncing around in the midfield again. Bijev. Mohamed. Loses out to Ray Sari. His pass is wrong. Goes to Baptista. Now back to McIntosh. Both these teams seeing opportunities to counter, but that final pass just getting cut out. Trading possession back and forth.
Bend, don't break. Those are the watchwords here through the first half hour.
I suppose that's what an early goal will do to you as well. Lift that energy. Of course, both these teams know it's a rivalry match. Anytime these two organizations meet. There's 5 yellow cards in the last game, 4 for T2, just 1 for S2. Rogers slips Grant in. It's a good ball from Sam Rogers. Grant gets the cross away, looking for Schenkem. That's going to be cleared away by Renico Clark. Great ball by Grant. Lewis. Cicerone all the way back to McIntosh. Great touch from Bijev. Over the top. Williams is sprinting through. Nanasinkum reads it. He'll clear it away. Mohammed just maybe in the way of Farfan there. It's throwing for S2. Not sure what Omar Mohammed was thinking. Farfan was there and was going the right direction.
Sometimes, Aaron, you get so caught up tracking the ball out of the air, you forget to take a look to see who else might be contesting it.
Just wanted to break it up was all. Nice run by Bijev. Here's Mohammed. Great cross from him. It's a huge chance from Augustine Williams. I don't think he thought he was going to get to it. I think he thought Sam Rogers was there. Take a look at it again.
Yeah, I think just at that last second he gets screened by Rogers, loses the ball, can't adjust his head, because if he had, Augustine Williams has the quality, he would have put that away. A bit unlucky to not score there.
Here's Chenkum the other way. Baptista wins it. It's going to roll out of bounds. A little half chance there for T2. Of course, they had that one earlier. The ball just went a little too far wide for Cicerone. But he was in. 33rd minute here at Starfire Sports Stadium. Seattle Sounders 2 lead 1-0 on Timbers 2. From that Irvin Parra penalty kick in the 6th minute. Hopiao. Flick from him onto Chenkum. Farfan knocks it all the way back to McIntosh. Chenkum still chasing. Header won by Rodriguez. Farfan, poor pass from him, goes straight to Felix Chenkum. Looking for Hopiao, gets broken up though. Farfan was able to get back.
And that I really feel is the next part of Chenkum's game that he has to develop. As here comes a counter-attacking option from Timbers 2.
Renito picks out Bijev, broken up by Parra. Nice work from him, come all the way centrally. Arbone. Sorry, over the top, looking for Parra. Just behind him, Harold Hansen clears it away. Olsen. Ball bouncing around again. High kick called, I'm sorry. He's arguing they both had their feet up, but Farhead Dotko does not see it that way. Now he's speaking to David Olsen.
And not done with David Olsen just yet.
I think maybe he was talking about David Olsen was standing in the way of the T2 free kick for a moment. He's made his point there.
I've heard someone ask before, well, how can you really tell when the referee is giving someone a warning? Well, it's a note when you see it situation. David Olsen just has been warned.
Took a couple seconds, didn't he, to explain that. Riley Grant on the left-hand side. Not a lot of options in front of him. 2 defenders. Now 3. Grant still going, fighting for Cicerone. There's Parra. Hansen does well. Grant wins the tackle on Lewis. Looking for Olsen. Granito comes from behind. Referee says no foul. Sorry, all the way back to Rogers.
Again, tough body work on defense from Timbers 2. Trying to stand up Riley Grant. No easy task. He's 6'1", the 22-year-old.
Grant again going over the top, looking for Chenkum. Broken up. Rodriguez pulls away nicely from Bijev. Sorry, nearly lost out there to Lewis. You'd read that. The tackle from Narbonne on Mohammed. 2 clashed rather hard. Narbonne is down and has his hand in the air. We'll see what comes of this. Joe Montgomery for S2 is going to come on the field.
See the replay here. Here's another look at it. Well, from a rule standpoint, Narbonne is the guilty party there. No doubt about that. That one of those collisions where really nobody's the winner.
Omar Mohamed arrived first, lifts the ball up. Narbonne clashes into him.
Narbonne looks like he might have caught one of Mohamed's knees along his side as they clattered into each other there.
Yeah, he seemed to get the worst of it. He's sitting up now, looks to be a little bit better. A little handshake between the two.
One more look at it. And yeah, right there, you can see that left knee from Mohamed just digs into the flesh right above that right hip. And the good news for Narbonne is those usually won't cause you to leave a game, but golly, do they hurt, especially as that tissue starts to bruise up and it'll stiffen up as the game goes on. It can make running difficult. It'll be something to keep an eye on.
Francisco Narbonne walking off okay. He has picked up a yellow card for it, so we'll keep an eye on that. First caution of the game here.
The referee signaled yellow card in the 38th minute on Sanders.
S2 with 10 men for the moment as Narbonne is still standing on the sideline. Now he's motioned in by the referee. Be a throw-in on the far side.
Honestly, Narbonne might want to think about making a hard attacking run here in the next minute or two. If you can distract your body with high effort, you can often take your mind off the pain.
1-2 there from Cicerone. Williams goes down. It's going to be a foul on S2. We'll have a second card just like that. And it looks like it's gone to Rodriguez. That's 2 in about 60 seconds for Sounders too. 2 yellow cards. Just arriving late there, L. Seems maybe a little bit soft.
I think that might be a yellow card that's given more in relation to the temper of the match than the challenge itself. I really don't see. I mean, apart from the fact that it's obviously a foul, I don't see anything too wrong with that tackle from Rodriguez. But it goes in the book all the same.
Thing is, you can't usually see that after a player's done that 2 or 3 times, but I can't recall any big fouls by Rodriguez in the past, but there it is. 2 S2 players with yellow cards and a free kick here for Timbers 2. 40th minute, Mohamed and Granito standing over it. It's going to be Granito right into the wall. Sorry, picks it up and clears it away. Chankum. Easily handled by Baptista. Farhad Dodko wants to get control of this game right away. Long ball won by Sounders 2. Riley Grant. Sorry. S2 looking to pick up the momentum again of their attack. It's recently died off a little bit from good pressure from Timbers 2. Without a doubt, they've had more possession the last 20 minutes, Andrew.
No, they really have. They're starting to get the way they want to play the game is now showing itself out there on the field. They've done a much better job of possessing, but again, they're still having a difficult time working their way to be goal dangerous. They had one ball into Cicerone and another one to the head of Augustine Williams. But everything is coming through the left side and Mohamed over there.
Again, McIntosh forced to clear quickly, but T2 have it now on the right with Hansen. Going straight at Parra, excuse me. Harold Hansen. Still going Hansen, showing those quick feet. It's a good cross from him to the far post. Shannon was there. Headed away, though, and then by Rogers. Sorry, we'll deal with it. Only as far as Lewis. Bijev. S2 clear their lines, but possession is again with Portland.
Well, and just as I say, everything comes up the left, they send one up the right. Really our first look at Harold Hansen and what he can swing in, but serves up a pretty dangerous ball.
Classic case of the broadcaster's curse. Harold Hansen. Cicerone picks it up in front of Rogers. Across from him, Nonasinkum clears. Olsen clears. S2 will relieve the pressure for the moment.
Yeah, S2 back on its heels a little bit right now. Have not had much of a whiff of the ball lately. Haven't really been able to get any of those passing combinations they like to run up in the attacking end. And unfortunately, Felix Chankum, very strong on the ball, but his capability as a target man is reduced when he's playing next to center backs that are 6'5" and 6'4", respectively, between Batista and Clark.
Another clearance by Batista. Augustine Williams looking to chase it down. Slow to get up, Rodriguez, but back to his feet now. 43rd minute here at Starfire Sports Stadium. Lights have come on.
You can see El has some words for Williams there. They collided as El was trying to shield that ball over the end line.
Olsen can't chase it down. It's going to be a throw in for T2, and Olsen picks up a foul. Looked like that may have been waived by the assistant referee. Excuse me, it's a throw-in. Parra looking for Jankum. Just a little too far. Renico Clark will see it out. Goal kick for T2.
Well, this is that gray area that exists in the modern game of when does putting your body between a man and the ball become obstruction. Batista there extends out an arm and just it's, you know, there are no good answers for this as to what should and shouldn't be considered a foul in that situation, but it really is something that going forward ought to be clarified in my mind.
Just part of the play in some cases, but it just depends on how much force is behind that arm, I suppose. Parra going against Hansen. Chankum in the box. Parra still going. Finally cleared away by Cicerone. Rogers sees it out. We have 1 minute of extra time, we're informed. 45th minute here. This beautiful Friday evening, lights out. ECS doing their classic rendition of La Bamba. This Cinco de Mayo evening.
A great atmosphere, and anytime there's a Cascadia clash, ECS will be there in force.
Olsen goes down. It's going to pick up the foul there. Free kick for S2. Fans, stay up to date on the latest USL news and information from around the league. Tune in to the USL Coast to Coast with Mike Watts, Mondays at 9 p.m. Eastern Time on Sirius XMFC, channel 85. Also, don't forget, Sirius XMFC will air the USL Game of the Week. Please check uslsoccer.com for dates and times. Free kick knocked in. Olsen gets to it first. Hopiau in a sea of green. It's going to be a foul called on him.
Great work by David Olsen. 3 defenders around him. And somehow manages to weasel his way through. But where Timbers 2 gave ground to let him get to the ball, they didn't give any space to put anything on frame.
Long ball there over the top. It's going to skip everybody straight into the hands of Meredith. And that just may see us out here in the first half. Bijev's offside, so he won't pick it up. Foul's going to be called on Augustine Williams. Good work from Rodriguez. Be solid. Andrew, great early start from S2. Timbers, though. Timbers, too, dominating the possession of that second part of the first half.
Yeah, and it's been the story of Timbers' 2 seasons so far is they'll play so well, but they haven't been able to reward themselves yet with a goal. It'll be interesting to see if they can in the second half.
Hope Yao. Working on Farfan. Farfan does well. Referee sees, assistant referee rather. Free kick, it's going to be for T2. Farhad Dotko, very specific about where the ball should be taken. Free kick should be taken, excuse me.
A little bit odd, seeing as we're now into the second minute of stoppage time, but
Kendall McIntosh will now move it further inside the box. Lofted long, and still we play on. Narbonne. There's the whistle to end the halftime. Excuse me, to end the first half. Score here at Starfire Sports Stadium. Seattle Sounders 2-1, Portland Timbers 2-0. Penalty kick in the first half in the 6th minute from Irvin Parra. Seattle Sounders 2 have to be thrilled with that.
absolutely. Listen, anytime you go into the break and you're up, it's very simple. You can go to your team and say, listen, if they don't score, we win.
That's simple. Portland Timbers 2, a lot of possession. We haven't seen a ton of concrete chances for them. What can they do differently in the second half?
I think if they just keep doing what they're doing and really make a concerted effort to get the ball into the alleyway, left side for Mohammed, right side for Hansen, whoever, they've shown they can serve up dangerous crosses. We know Augustine Williams is very dangerous in the box. Cicerone has proven he can be dangerous too. I have a feeling if they do that, they'll find a goal.
Seattle Sounders 2 lead 1-0. Portland Timbers 2 will be back after this with halftime and the second half.
You grew up in Trinidad. I know you love your country and everything. Were you good at anything else, or was it for you from when you were young, always, I'm going to play football?
Growing up, I play all sports, basketball,
Were you good? You were?
football, so it was like between 10 to 16 years, I was playing more like football and cricket, so I knew I would have made it in one of those sports.
I've met players before from the Caribbean who playing for the national team is like the highest honor. So I know you guys now are going through World Cup qualifying. So kind of talk about your international career so far and what that means to you.
Well, I got an early call in my career, like around 18, going on 19, where I was on the bench for like 6 games straight because the coach did not believe in me because I was small in size. But they know I have the talent, I can play, but it just trust, I think it was. And when I get my opportunity, I take it. I have like 62 caps right now. So it's an honor, and also an honor to play for my country.
Do you know how many goals you have for your country? 6. 6? You have all the stats, huh? Let's talk about another goal you scored, which isn't on the stat sheet, but this goal took place in December, MLS Cup. You're one of the guys who stepped up to take a penalty kick. Now, 2 things I want to know. Did you want to take one, or did they ask you to?
I tell Smith I'll kick.
You said you want to take one? And then how is the walk from the halfway line to the PK?
Well, the last Gold Cup, I threw one against Panama, so that was in my head a little bit. Then after I shake it off, I say, come on. Yeah, I missed over the bar. Then I shake it off, I say to myself, not today again. So it kind of helped me when I woke up.
Jones, 25-year-old international from Trinidad and Tobago.
But are you nervous when you're walking down there?
No, I wasn't nervous.
You wasn't nervous?
No.
You walked down and you finished the
Before I kicked, I was kind of nervous. I had 2 minds where I'm going to go. So I just say, I'm just going to go hard and high.
How about that composure, top corner?
This is about as good a penalty as you're going to hit. Jovan Jones absolutely showing tons of composure, steps up left-footed, and just rips it into the left-hand upper corner of Clint Irwin.
Winning the cup, it was a great feeling. You play in a game, you're winning 4-0. Sometimes you don't really get that vibe. If you down 1-0, you come back and win 2-1 or 3-2. you feel that energy, so it was like that.
Your hair, I have to ask, because the people want to know. You change it every 3-4 days. You know, we've joked before about your hair and stuff. Is there, some have been good, great, some have been interesting. Is there a reason why you change so often? Do you get bored? Is it something everyone from back home does? Like, what's this kind of the story behind your hairstyle?
I get bored, you know, like if I see something on the internet, I try. I don't care if it look good or bad. I just try stuff.
Do you have a favorite one that you've done?
No.
Do you have a horrible one that you've done? Yeah. You do?
Right now I'm looking for a new one.
Brian Schmetzer, and I knew I'd get that reaction. He likes you a lot, I can tell. Just from being around you guys, he's always, you know, poking fun at you, trying to get you to smile, to talk more. What's your relationship like with Brian, and how much does his confidence in you allow you to actually do what you're doing?
Well, first to begin, I love Brian because, you know, as a coach, he talk to players. You know, some coach, like when they come in mornings, they pass you straight, or just, he try to come to talk to you, make you smile, see how your morning going, your family, everything like that. And also on the field, he gave me a lot of confidence. And I think that will help me to become the player I am today.
It was in. A moment of brilliance to save a gritty physical battle. It was a game where one goal would likely be enough. And there it was. It was fitting, their star in their place in extra time. He floated a perfect ball through the Arctic air that for a moment, time stopped. 35,000 Red Army stood frozen with anticipation. Rave green hearts left to be ripped out. One red hand was placed firmly on the cup because it was in until it wasn't.
What a save by Fry! Wow!
Welcome back, Starfire Sports Stadium. First half stats right here. Seattle Sounders 2, of course, leading 1-0. Portland Timbers 2. Take a look at those shots as well, Andrew. Seattle Sounders 2. A lot more chances, not the possession, though, in the first half.
No, absolutely. 57% going the way of Timbers, too. I mentioned in the pregame they had 68 in the first half against San Antonio. This is a team that knows how to possess the ball. They've done a very good job of it, and if they have their way, they will eventually have their opportunity to break down this S2 back line.
Well, let's take a look at how this goal first showed up. Irvin Parra putting it away to put Sounders 2 early on in the lead. Very, very great start for Ezra Hendrickson and his side. We'll take a look at that now. Shannon Hopi out. His cross set it all up, but then it was all Parra after that.
Yeah, just a great ball picking out David Olson. Good shot on the ground, spills at the backside. Parra gives chase. Harold Hansen a little unlucky to foul him there, but it is a foul and well called by the referee. And then up steps the big man to the spot. He's the veteran, he gets to take him, and just very well taken. Advantage of the sun being in McIntosh's eyes, but still a very well-taken penalty.
Second penalty on the season for Irvin Parra. He had one last week in Colorado Springs, and that was the difference in this game so far. Here's the biggest chance for T2 so far.
A great cross in from Muhammad to Augustine Williams. Unlucky. Sam Rogers nearly gets ahead to it to clear it away, and just Williams can't direct it toward the goal mouth. But had he, we'd be talking very differently here at this halftime break.
One goal separates these two sides in this second Cascadia clash. Timbers 2, we talked about them and their ability. They just haven't been able to score many goals, 5 goals. Of course, Victor Arboleda is not here tonight. He holds one. The other one's Bijev and Augustine Williams. They've had the possession. They haven't had as many chances. Augustine and Williams, the chance we just showed there, but that's been it. Anything else that they can probably do to create something else?
This is just one of those frustrating situations where sometimes a team just gets into a funk, and no matter what you do to try to snap out of it, nothing seems to go your way. And unfortunately, what it takes is a goal to come. This was a team that no doubt was hoping that that huge 2-0 road win in front of 12,000 down in California at Sacramento Republic, a tough place to play, I might add, that it was going to snap them out of that funk for whatever reason. You know, they had to come home, short trip, play at home against San Antonio, a very good side. So they're still kind of mired in it, but you know, we've seen time and time again on so many different clubs, all it takes is just one ball. Sometimes you have to get a little bit lucky. Bounces into the net, rolls in, you get a penalty. I think that goal will come sooner rather than later for Timbers 2.
On the other side, Sounders 2, big opportunity right away, but after that they started to fade out of the game a little bit. What can we see from them? Felix Chenkum, he's busy, not quite getting the service he needs. Parr has been active on the left. We haven't seen a ton from Shannon Hopiau on the right-hand side.
Yeah, we talked about it. Chenkum's hold-up play is going to have a really tough time battling against Batista and Renico Clark, so they got to slow things down, ironically. They have to come out and just sort of assert their will onto this game, establish some more possession, and work those quick passing combinations they like to. Get Riley Grant on the flank on the left side. Flash it to Shannon Hopiau. They just managed to just flash it back and forth to the left and right side. If they can pull that off, I really think they're going to get more of those opportunities. This back line for T2 is so good. You got to stretch them out. You stretch them out, there's going to be space, but the space has to be there.
Of course, and we saw, as far as cautionary goes, 2 yellow cards, both on Sounders 2 side, Francisco Narbonne. And that clash against Mohammed, he seems to be recovered okay from that. And on the and Rodriguez L picked up one as well. He's going to have to be careful taking on Williams here in the second half.
No, absolutely. Ezra Hendrickson has came prepared. There's an opportunity that you might see Ethan Lotanero, a young academy defender who practices regularly with the first team, promising player, a lot of upside. They're really high on that kid. So depending, especially if L makes 1 or 2 risky tackles, Ezra Hendrickson might give L the hook. He has options on the bench. Meanwhile, for Timbers 2, if they can't get it done on the attacking end, taking a look on the bench, there's really no cavalry to come over the hill, no proven figure that can come in and kind of put in a tough shift and maybe bully your way to a goal a la Will Brune for the Sounders first team.
As far as Timbers 2, we'll take a look at the stats here now of the first half. And there they are. We saw them earlier. S2 leads 1-0. 4 shots from S2. We talked about those chances. T2 with 8 shots, but when you think about those 8 shots, none really seem to, other than the Williams half chance, none seem to have threatened Brian Meredith.
No, you have to get that opportunity, that one ball that you're really going to test Brian Meredith. He hasn't been tested in a serious way all game, but I do think it will come off a cross. We've seen a couple times those crosses. Meredith, he's an aggressive goalkeeper. He likes to charge out. He owns his 6-yard box. The problem is sometimes he tries to own the 8-yard box. And, you know, if a goalie does that and whiffs, well, then you have an open net.
Both head coaches, Ezra Hendrickson and Andrew Gregor, probably want to see their sides clean up the passing a little bit. We saw both their passing stats way down in the low 70s. Things were chippy. Players were trying to keep possession, but there was a lot of unnecessary passes and a lot of plays broken up pretty easily.
I think it has to do with the fouling you saw there. 9 for Sounders 2, 8 for Timbers 2. Interesting that despite those numbers, Sounders 2 have 2 more yellow cards, but it's really just when there's that kind of fouling and you know it's such a physical contest, sometimes it interferes with your mental ability to prepare to send those quick passes because you're worried as the ball's coming to your foot. If you haven't had a chance to check over your shoulder, are you going to have an open lane or are you about to get clattered into?
Things that can happen in a rivalry match. Seattle Sounders 2 leading the Portland Timbers 2, 1-0. Urban Parra with his 2nd penalty kick of the season puts them in the lead. Sounders 2 have a chance to get another 3 points, 2 wins in a row. They haven't done that since last season. Big confidence boost for them.
Absolutely would be, but I really do think the way this game is going, it's going to require another goal for them. This year, when Sounders 2 have been up by a goal, they're actually 0-2. Forgive me, they're 0-2 when they've only scored 1 goal so far this season. So if they're going to win, they're going to need another.
Now we'll be back with the second half right after this.
Raise the stakes. Expectations are high. Our biggest season yet will break records with elite players and future stars, innovative technology, and new homes. We're growing the game in our communities and across the nation. Are you ready?
We built the USL into the largest Division II professional soccer league in the world. And now the time has come to announce USL Division III, America's professional third division league, completing the U.S. pro soccer landscape. It's time for your town, your team, your game. D3 will fuel local pride and local passion, creating a new legacy for the beautiful game and inspiring its tribal following across the country. This is professional soccer, built on a disciplined financial model and operational excellence, featuring exciting venues to thrill fans in hungry new markets yearning for the game. USL Division III, professional, passionate, proven. Pro soccer starts here, coming in 2019. For more information, visit usld3.com.
Welcome back, Starfire Sports Stadium. Seattle Sounders 2-1, Portland Timbers 2-0. Second half about ready to get underway. Let's get into the substitute benches first for the Portland Timbers 2. Max Ornstill, Dylan Damrowie, Kyle Bjornathan, Shaquille Jimenez, backup goalkeeper Wade Hamilton, Lucas Cini from Brazil's young man, academy product, U18s, and of course Michael Amick, the defender of UCLA. For S2 on the other side, midfielder Jamie Dimitrov, Lorenzo Ramos, Trey Muse, the backup keeper, Ethan Lotinaro, Milo Barton, Jaborn Stevens, and Azriel Gonzalez, 15-year-old. Made his debut against San Antonio as a sub. Quickly went off with a red card, but he'll be back to prove himself again.
No, absolutely, and he's another name you might see as this match winds down. You know, the fact that Ezra Hendrickson was willing to put him on against a team with as many veteran players as San Antonio shows the confidence that he has in him. And just, you know, slight mistake, your feet slip out from under you, you go in for a two-footed challenge and you get sent off in your debut, but he'll definitely do better the second time around. First one's always the hardest, they say.
Fans ready here. They've been treated to quite a night. The MLS Cup here is here as Seattle gets ready to face their MLS final opponents tomorrow. Replay of that 2016 final, which, by the way, will be played at noon. Just a reminder of that game change tomorrow. Early foul there from Para, free kick for T2.
Yeah, ESPN didn't take very long into the season to decide, you know, that is a game that we would want to carry on national television. So they'll be in town, and rightly so. Just, I mean, last year's matchup, you saw the segment there with Casey Keller and the save, just instant classic, and it's going to be something that sticks in the memories of people around here, and unfortunately for Toronto fans up there, for a very long time.
Penalty shootout, big win. Of course, they're actually testing penalty shootouts now. In the Youth World Cups, they're going, instead of one for one, they're going to change it up, but more on that in a minute as Nana Sinkum gets a piece to that. Williams still chasing. It's an early corner kick here for T2.
Again, just another slight miscommunication between Rodrigue L and keeper Brian Meredith. L thought Meredith was coming for it. He wasn't. Had to shepherd that out for a corner.
Bijev to take it. Whips it in, easily headed away by Olsen. Lewis tracks it down. Ball put back in, Narbonne. Nana Sinkum. And it's going to be off Bijev, throwing for S2.
Hard one by Nana Sinkum there. Both players kind of apologizing to each other. Those 50-50 balls, they really can leave a mark for days.
Narbonne. This one's going to go out of bounds again. So I was mentioning, Andrew, the penalty kicks, instead of going 1 for 1, they're going to first team's going to go, and then the next team that goes is going to go twice in a row, and then subsequently after that. So apparently the psychology is if you're shooting second, you always feel like you're behind and you have to play catch up. So the first team that goes first typically wins. So the study says. We shall see, but they're testing it now in the FIFA Youth World Championships.
Well, I will say this. I like that idea better than the potential to go back to the old MLS style run-up penalty. They are exciting.
30-yard run-up.
Gosh, they are
5
exciting.
seconds to do it.
I don't think they're the best possible way to decide it. You know, it's everyone acknowledges penalties are a lousy way to resolve what's been a great game if it's gone 120. So while I am something of a traditionalist, maybe if that does statistically balance things out, then it's the right thing to do.
It's certainly an interesting idea, I think, for the future PKs. On a Sinkham's ball cut out. Now Narbonne has it. Again, possession being swapped quickly between both these sides. Hopiau. Pushed off the ball by Lewis. Granito, his pass, can't find Cicerone. Sorry. Rodriguez. Olsen. Cuts inside Olsen. He's got Pare. Tries to pick him out. Good touch from Batista.
And again, you see right there that attempt we talked about at halftime, just overlapping runs, try to get these defenders to have their heads too much on a swivel, stretch them out just a little bit. No space opening up just yet.
Mohamed goes down, can't keep control. Schenkum, ball gets away from him. Lewis wins it back. Bijev. Ray Sari does well to break it up. Olsen. Farfan cuts that ball out. Farfan gets it back. Slides in, but can't keep possession. Sari now out to Hopiau. He's spaced to go. Looks to play inside. Too hard for Para. Bounces to Olsen. David Olsen. Can't find any room to shoot. Good turn from Bijev over the top, but Rodriguez is there. Again, both these teams unable to keep possession for too long. Beginning of the half.
That chance from Olsen just now. He's got to have that internal timer now that he's in the pros. Really, pretty much after you take your third touch, if it's not open, you got to find someone and dish that ball.
A little interesting, too, from Hopiau. He didn't take that space in front of him. Bijev looking for Williams. All these players still learning, still adapting their game. One of the moments where these two sides will match up pretty evenly. Typically, they're playing against much older players, 3 or 4 or 5 years.
Well, and these teams can also be happy that they're playing match day 8, and this is both of their 8 matches. We were remarking before the game, it's really impossible to make much sense of the USL standings right now. Phoenix Rising until tomorrow night anyways. By the time this match finishes, we'll have 4 games in hand against both these teams. And we're only 8 weeks into the season.
They're saving those games for their new forward / coach, Didier Drogba. What a handful he could potentially be.
Absolutely, and just, I mean, for a young player, what an opportunity.
Pressure from Para, it's worked out. You will not see a stranger goal than that. And Irvin Para goes his way here early on in the 52nd minute.
Well, Aaron, I'm doing the same thing that many in the stands are doing right now. My hands are on my head in disbelief. And just a defensive miscue by Timbers too. Irvin Para charges in there, and McIntosh is off his line.
McIntosh is off his line, expecting that ball back. You can see Renico Clark can't pull it away from Para in time. He just, I think he was expecting a 50-50 challenge. Instead, just goes right on frame. McIntosh off his line. 2-0 lead for S2.
Aaron, I can pretty honestly say I didn't expect a second S2 goal would come quite like that. But I think Ezra Hendrickson is probably happy with it all the same.
Any way they go in, they'll take it. Certainly frustrating from T2's side. Again, good possession. Ball's just given up easily. Put yourself in a position like that. That's costly.
Once again, and that's why you teach your attacking forwards, hey, go pressure the defender. You never know.
Good touch from Schenken to put Olsen in. Here's Hopiao on the right. Tries to get his crossway. Farfan blocks it. First corner of the match for S2. Take one more look here.
Whether he means to or not, and I'm not sure he does, but it's very well taken from Parra all the same.
Yeah, you'd expect those 50-50 challenges. It would have, well, I guess who can say it could have gone anywhere. Ray sorry to take this for S2. It's a great header. Looks like it was blocked by Chenkum. Excellent header. That was Parra again. Chenkum didn't know anything about it. Hit him right in the side of the head.
Parra found the net twice. He wants to go for a third. And again, Sounders just so dangerous right now.
Second corner from S2. Sorry again. Parra on the chest. Looking for the left-footed shot. Misses. I think he's caught Batista there.
It's Parra and Farfan who is down.
Excuse me, Farfan, you're right. You can hear the sound as well. Just as he's coming down, Farfan steps in there. Parra gets all of his leg. Can be painful from both players.
Both trainers coming out now to assess what's going on. Chenkum there comforting his teammate.
And it looks like Parra is going to get a yellow card for this.
Well, he went for the ball, missed completely, and got the man who taken it, so it's a justifiable booking.
I don't know. I don't know if I personally agree with this one, Andrew. I'd take a look at the guy. He's bringing the ball down. Wants to put everything behind his shot. Farfan does a great bit of defending. Steps in there at the last second, and he's already swung through. There's not much he can do about stopping. It's not as if he tried to kick him. That's the way I see it. It's an interesting situation here.
I certainly agree in some respect, Aaron. Take another look here. This is a better angle. Yeah, I think it might just have something to do with the height. You know, if Parra had been swinging on the ground and he got Farfan's foot, I definitely agree that it should just be a foul, but something about the elevation might have changed Farad Dadko's mind about whether or not to issue a card there.
Well, either way, Farfan going to try and walk this one off. Parra's picked up a yellow card. That's 3 now for S2. Narbonne, Parra, and Rodriguez. Let's hope that Farfan's okay.
Thankfully, able to walk off under his own power, and he'll come back on right now. Parra re-enters as well.
Narbonne. Throwing for T2 on the far side. Hansen. And it's going to be a foul called on Augustine Williams.
Yeah, referee's going to be pretty quick on the whistles here the next couple minutes. Early goings in the second half. Want to make sure that all the players understand exactly how this second 45 is going to go from a foul perspective.
2 early strikes from Parra. The difference here. T2, though, with dominating the possession, are not out of this game as we have another foul called here. This one on T2. I think it was Andre Lewis.
Tough to tell. Parra trying to spin his way out of a couple of bodies there.
Parra Parr goes down on the challenge from Hansen. It's going to be a free kick here for S2. Excuse me, a throw-in.
Parra can huck him. I'm going to leave it, though.
Jankum chests that one down. Parr's going to be flagged for offsides.
Second time tonight for Irvin Parra. It's sometimes a problem for him that he just kind of loses track of that final defender as they step up. Good defensive composure from Timbers, too.
T2 now down 2 goals. How can they respond here? A place that's been so difficult for them to get a result. Come close a couple times. Last time on April 2nd, they took the lead. Only to watch S2 score 2 right in a row. Now they trail by 2 goals again. Bijev can't get out of it. Shannon Hopiau picks it up. His pass is cut out. Granito. S2 done a nice job of closing it down. Sorry, looking for Jankum. Good ball from him. Ball's going to eventually bounce out. Goes off Renico Clark. It's a corner for S2. Their third in the second half. Nice effort by Jankum. Get that off of Clark.
Renico Clark, 10 inches taller than Felix Jankum. 6'4" against 5'6". Jankum not afraid to go to battle.
It's a good battle between both these sides tonight as we celebrate the Battle of Puebla today in Cinco de Mayo. Sorry with the cross. Good hands from McIntosh. Going to fight his way in there.
Ideally, hopefully, less overall bloodshed here than at the Battle of Puebla.
Sure, easily managed. Lewis. This one falls to Granito. Williams. Grant over the top. Jankum's onside. Jankum still some work to do to get around Batista. Well defended there by Batista. Jankum looking for the call. He isn't going to get it.
Well,
Farfan to Mohammed.
Few players will in that situation, Aaron.
Mohammed, Farfan, 3 players around him. Still finds Mohammed. S2 do well to shut this down. Narbonne gets his pass wrong. Batista, calm as ever on it. Nanasinkum cuts out that pass, only goes as far as Cicerone. Fights off a couple challenges. Cicerone still going. Perhaps a touch too many. It's one away by Olsen. It's going to be a corner there. I think Riley Grant thought it was a touch off a T2 player. Second corner of the match for T2.
This is an opportunity. You have a lot of height in the box with the 2 center backs pulled all the way up the field.
Ball's whipped in, right into the hands of Meredith.
Great job by Brian Meredith. You got a ton of bodies around you in traffic, and you just got to go up there. You have to attack the ball like it said something mean to you at breakfast.
Both goalkeepers, the captains tonight. Brian Meredith and Kendall McIntosh. Olsen brings it out. Pass is behind Parra. Throwing again for T2. The ideas are there, both these teams. Sometimes the execution just a little bit off. Batista. Grant will just clear that away. Changes are warming up on both sides. Thoughts on who the first change might be?
Well, I'm cheating since I have binoculars here in the booth.
How dare you?
But it looks like it's going to be Azriel Gonzalez if I've picked out the number correctly for S2 on the far side.
Second appearance for the 15-year-old academy product, Azriel Gonzalez. Narbonne looking for a different angle from Opiao. And we're going to see S2 with the first change. And it is Azriel Gonzalez. And he's going to come on for Irvin Parra.
Leaving the pitch is the goal scorer, number 38, Irvin Parra.
Parra is rightfully given a big ovation from this home crowd. 2 goals for him tonight.
3 goals on the season for Parra. 3 in 2 games now. And Azriel Gonzalez comes on. At his USL debut against San Antonio on April 25th. And as we mentioned, he's called for a red card just a few minutes after being on the field for a scissor tackle. It might have been a little bit harsh, but nonetheless, he's returned. Out to prove what an exciting player Sounders Academy knows he is. Narbonne puts that into Chenkum. Chenkum's won the tackle. Batista's in, he catches Chenkum.
Well,
and it looks like Batista's going to pick up a yellow.
Let's see here.
How close is this, Andrew, being the last player?
Well, it's, not really close at all. Chenkum has to be about 10 yards further downfield. If he's right atop the 18, you have a case for it, but that far outside of goal, and with Chenkum showing all night that he doesn't really have the breakaway speed on the back line, it's only a yellow in my book.
Batista just catching Chenkum. Picks up the yellow card. It's going to be his 4th on the season. And of course, 5 yellow cards collected is 1 game suspension. Renico Clark, the other center back, as I said earlier, is on 4 yellow cards, so both center backs. 1 card away. We have a couple Timber fans on the far side. Flags up high. Ray Sari on the free kick. Put it in the box. Bijev clears.
It's one thing at the MLS level both these franchises always enjoy is no matter where you go, there will be someone bearing your scarf and singing your name. And it's one of the exciting things about players for the USL affiliates of these franchises. One day they might find themselves in Chicago and still have 100 people up there cheering them on.
Sorry. First few touches for Azriel Gonzalez. Here he is on the left-hand side. Gonzalez gets through both, picks up the foul. Nice work from the youngster. Not afraid to take players on. He's got that youthful exuberance.
Gets to spend first team training with the likes of Jordan Morris, Clint Dempsey, Nico Lodero. Plays with the U18 Academy team because he's too destructive on the U16s.
Just invaluable experience for a young player like that. T2 looking to make a sub here in a few minutes. But first the free kick. Sorry, bends this one to the far post, just over everybody.
Well, Rodriguez got up in a big way, hoping to just get ahead to that. Directed on frame, couldn't do it. And now the sub will be allowed. And Aaron, I can comfortably say no binoculars needed on this one. As here comes the very distinctive hair of Dylan Demraoui. He will replace Tomas Granito.
Demraoui, the Belgian.
Started the first contest between these two teams back in May. Looked to be one of Portland's more dangerous players in the midfield. Won a lot of 50-50 balls for him, Aaron.
Certainly has a creative sense about him. A dark-haired Carlos Valderrama, if you remember him from way back. One of the exciting players of early MLS days. Here he is now. First touches for him. Turn there from Hope Yao. Can't keep it in bounds. S2 lead 2-0. 68th minute.
Flag up for offside there. You know, you were asking a couple minutes ago just what do the Timbers need to do to get back in this game. And the answer, I know it's going to sound obvious, but score a goal. There's so much more to it than that. It's just, you know, they have to reward themselves for all this great work that they've put in down on the pitch.
Nothing like a goal that lifts a team, but the last time they scored was against Orange County on April 8th in that 2-1 loss. After that, on the 16th, a 1-0 loss. The Whitecaps FC 2. And then they had that win in Sacramento, so there's 2 goals there. Excuse me, I missed that. But 2 games, 6 goals given up. None scored. You know the entire team is thinking it. We need to get something on the board, put some pressure on S2. Took a look at that Sacramento result and just assumed it was Sacramento. It's a great win for them.
Oh, absolutely. And Bonnie Field, or Papa Murphy's Park as it's now called. Such a, again, just a brutal place to play. The fans don't like you. And here's another hard foul.
Free kick opportunity for T2.
Sinkham goes in. Yeah, forgive me, that's Rodriguez L. Getting in there, just tucks his shoulder on the front side of Augustine Williams.
Good win by L, just has to be a little bit careful. He's on a yellow card already.
As his defensive midfielder, Francisco Narbonne. Irvin Parra, the other man in the book, was subbed off for Azriel Gonzalez. And you know, before Parra picked up the yellow, I really thought it would be L or Narbonne that would be the first men to go.
Bija, the sole man over the ball for Timbers too. He'll put it in. It's a good little run. It skips by. That was Cicerone darting through there. Wasn't able to make contact. Good opportunity again goes by Timbers too.
Just another well-worked run by Russell Cicerone. Second time tonight he's found himself in the box and hasn't been able to find anything that would challenge Brian Meredith.
Lewis. Hansen feeds that ball into Cicerone. Williams gets the shot away. It's going to go wide. Goal kick for S2. Soccer fans, Nike is an official sponsor of the USL. For more information, visit nikesoccer.com.
Timbers 2 looking more dangerous in these last 2 minutes, really ever since we hit the 68-minute mark. Looks like they're starting to find that rhythm right there at the edge of the 18. Can they make anything of it?
Just less than 20 minutes to do so. Of course, there'll be a minute or two of stoppage time. 1 sub apiece. Narbonne goes down. That's going to be a yellow card for Damraoui. Damraoui picked up a card the last time he was here. So he'll go in the books.
Darko go now going to make the spot kick be retaken. They tried to go quick. Take another look at it here. And yeah, late ball was away, comes down on the foot of Narbonne. In a non-derby match, maybe you don't see that called, but game like this where there's been so many bookings already, got to stay consistent.
Now even with the last game, pull on the shirt there by Farfan. 5 in the last game. We now have 5 yellow cards this game. Plenty of time. Bijev, Williams trying to get around L. His touch takes him out of bounds. That's 2 for a goal kick.
Visible frustration in the body language of Augustine Williams. He's done so much so well tonight, but always just that final touch has evaded him.
Had that one chance in the first half. Header won well by Clark. Chenkum. Hopiao on the right. Got both Olsen and Schenkum. Picks out Schenkum against Batista. Farfan. Cheeky skill from both Farfan and Batista to get out of that. Mohamed. Arbonne blocks this one out. It's a throw-in for T2. Another substitution. This one from Sounders 2.
It'll be Jamie Dimitrov. David Olsen's night is done.
So David Olsen retires this evening. Has the assist on that. Well, at least set up that Para penalty kick. He'll be replaced by Jamie Dimitrov, Sounders Academy.
Just like Gonzalez, he's another guy, trains with the first team. Out there a couple times in the last few weeks, and just despite his size, he hangs in there with the big boys.
Skillful player, debuted for Sounders 2 at San Antonio last year. The end of last season in 2016. Comes on for his second appearance this year. T2 again with a lot of possession. Damraoui looking to put in Bijev. Nonasinkam stays strong, wins it back. Poor clearance, will be a throw-in for T2 again. Narbonne puts it away.
Getting to a stage of the match now, Aaron, where S2 will be content to settle for defensive clearances like that.
T2 picking up the pace here. Here's Damraoui. Still going, Dylan Damraoui. Farfan to Lewis. Pass just past him a little bit, but he gets it. Hansen. Little rush from him, and it's a clearance again from S2.
Marco Farfan's not been playing his best soccer tonight, Aaron. You know, he's got so many positive qualities, but you sometimes wonder if kind of that rubber banding effect between you're with T2 and then you're back with the first team, you're playing in both, and there's so many expectations on you. Sometimes it can be a little bit tough to settle into a groove.
Good turn here from Williams. Broken up by L. Grant's just going to let this one go out of bounds. It's got to be tough, as you mentioned, for Farfan. You're up, you're on a high, you're with the first team, then you go down. It's all part of being a professional, that mental strength. Can you keep doing your best? Eventually get called up and be a little bit more consistent with it. He'll get his opportunities again, though, for sure.
Oh, absolutely.
This one headed down by Cicerone, looking for Williams. Put away by Sam Rogers. It's funny, you look at T2, sometimes they just don't have too many players up top in the box other than Augustine Williams. It's a lot of work for one player against all the S2 defenders.
Just
getting more guys up there now, I suppose.
Yeah,
excuse me, Andrew.
No worries. Getting to that point in the match now where just As your legs get heavier, sometimes your thoughts slow down a little bit. Certainly, Andrew Greger would like to have a little more company for Williams, someone to knock the ball to.
McIntosh, not a great clearance. Again, Batista kind of put him in a tough spot. That pressure from S2 up top. Sorry, fends off Damraoui well. Back to Meredith from L. Narbonne picks it up in the middle. Rodriguez L. Brings it forward. Passes off, though. Marco Farfan intercepts. Pushes Hopiau off it. Farfan still going. Goes down after contact with L. Free kick. I wonder how much Farfan knew about that, about who exactly was tackling him there.
Well, it's the age-old advice as a defender. Either the ball gets by you or the player, but never both. That time it was the ball. But Rodriguez L planted his feet there. You don't want to see that, especially in a potential fast break situation. He's got to keep his feet moving there.
Absolutely, especially since he is on a yellow card. That's a missed chance there from Felix Chankum, going for the absolutely insanely spectacular.
Felix Chankum may be riding the high of that spectacular goal at Colorado Springs too much, and it looks like he might have overexerted himself there.
Chankum's down at the moment. Joe Montgomery, Sounders 2 training staff's going to come on and check him out. But again, Renico Clark, just that first touch gets away. Chankum could have been through. Would have been another huge opportunity for S2. We'll take a look at this effort from Chankum.
Slips through, and just Chankum sees something he likes. I mean, why not? McIntosh has been caught off his line once, but you notice he's playing much deeper for what the situation might normally call for after letting that first chip go over his head. And Chankum just can't get underneath the ball enough.
To be fair to Clark, too, that pass from Hansen was not on the mark. Puts Chankum through, and hopefully he's able to recover here. Two-goal hero from last week. Not sure he's going to be able to continue.
Looks like Ezra Hendrickson has plans to pull him anyway. Javorn Stevens marching over to the fourth official on the far sideline to hand in his marching orders.
19-year-old Javorn Stevens, Green Bay Antigua. Had an ankle injury in the preseason, so hasn't seen much time, but he will sub on here and get the last few minutes. See if he can't put this game away for S2.
As Chankum's helped off the field, you certainly hope it's nothing serious for a player who's very much a bright star on this young team.
And he's holding the back of his leg. Stevens hamstring, you never know.
Stevens will come on now. A lot of positive minutes from him. Not too many, as you said, just kind of recovering from that ankle issue, but he's been a real game changer late for S2 and how they can kind of afford to hold up play in the attacking end, especially when defending a lead.
Sorry, looking on the left for Gonzalez. Stevens is going to get there. Hansen has to put it out. 82nd minute here at Starfire Sports Stadium. Seattle Sounders 2-2. Portland Timbers 2-0. Chance here for S2 to get their second win in a row.
It's a good thing having those numbers at the end of the club names. Never gets confusing while announcing a scoreline, Aaron.
2-2-2.
But who's on first?
Ball bouncing around again. Hansen wins the battle here. Big cheers from that Portland crowd. Another substitution, this time on T2's side. It is going to be Renico Clark.
It's Lucas Cini coming on.
82nd minute, leading the pitch is number 47, Renico Clark.
Lucas Cheney just going to go up top. Here's Hopiao. Dimitrov, he's flagged for offsides. Lucas Cheney just going to slot in there. It's his first appearance for T2. Man from Brazil, was at Boca United for a couple years before he came to the Portland Timbers 2 Academy. Portland Timbers Academy, I should say. Cicerone's just going to drop in underneath him, and Harold Hansen is going to slot in at center back.
Well, late in the game, sometimes you got to take risks if you're chasing a goal. 7 minutes of regulation left, and Andrew Geiger's side is in sore need of one.
So a very attack-minded right side for T2. Hopiao cuts out the pass. Narbonne can't get it back. Mohammed has it. Lewis. Dying minutes here in Starfire Sports Stadium. Bijev. S2 have done a very good job of breaking up everything T2 have had despite Portland's possession. Damraoui gets his pass wrong. It's out of bounds. He and Farfan have had words a couple times here. Just miscommunications. Got to be frustrating. Potential second game in the row with no goals. Hansen. Williams can't hang on to it. Here's Azriel Gonzalez. Looking to find Dimitrov, can't get it to him. McIntosh clears, can't tell, did Stevens get a touch on that?
It sure looked like it.
Ball over the top, looking for Bijev. Skips on. Mohammed, top of the box. Nice step by Nana Sinkum to break it up. Bounces to Bijev. Mohammed. Nowhere to go, Mohammed. Has to go back. Lewis. Farfan, he'll take on two. Hits his crossway. It's a good ball, but straight into the hands of Meredith. Cicerone was coming in far post, but nice stop by Meredith. Now here's Gonzalez going the other way for S2. 85th minute. Sorry. First touch too big and has to put it out of bounds.
Sorry, was hoping to get the call there after contact with Cheney. Nothing doing. It's been a quiet night in net for S2 goalkeeper and captain Brian Meredith, but the few times he has been called on, he's answered exactly like you hope a 27-year-old veteran would.
Batista. Mohammed has to chase down his first touch. Ball over the top, it's going to skip everybody. Well, S2 practically stumbled into their second goal. How have they done other than that tonight so far, Andrew?
You know, it's like you said, they're maybe a little bit lucky, you could say, to get the second goal, but in the same way, you do make your own luck in this sport. It was a great challenge from Para to get there for the ball. They had very solid offensive pressure. I think they really had a solid game plan coming out here to aggressively defend this lead and to defend it in T2's defensive third. And I really think that's what led to this second goal. And after the second goal, they've done a fantastic job of just, you know, knowing how to protect a two-goal lead is a difficult thing to do when you're a younger player getting used to the professional game, but they've answered the call admirably.
And they certainly have been susceptible to, as we mentioned before, after scoring a goal, giving one up right away. Done the job tonight so far. Game isn't over. T2 still searching, getting a little more desperate as you see that ball from Hansen. Williams. Can he make something happen here? Augustine Williams. Bijev trying to get back on that right foot. Damraoui flicks it back. It's Bijev over the top on the crossbar and chased down. But we have a flag. And he's offsides is Lucas Cheney, and that will sum up Timbers tonight. Incredible shot by Bijev. We've seen from him before. Take a look at it here again. Cutting back on his right foot. He scored one just like this last time he was here.
Tamarawi, nifty little thing, trying to get the ball back. Does it cross the line? No, that's right on the line, as near as we can tell. And Sheeny just a step too far downfield. Oh, if he'd just waited a fraction of a second longer, how differently might that have turned out?
Would have made a real ending for us. Mohammed. Still going Mohammed, tackled away by Dimitrov. Not a sink him over the top to Stevens. He can't hang on to it. Batista gets it back. With a little extra work to do. Lewis. Incredible effort from Bijev. So unlucky to have that not go in. Good little combination between him and Damraoui. Cicerone. Still going. Ball bounces through, cleared away. Throw in here for T2. Really was a phenomenal effort.
Oh, just fantastic strike. Perfectly placed. Everything you could want. Threads it through traffic.
Crosses in. Meredith is there. Ball's bouncing around. It's going to be a goal kick for S2. Brian Meredith, probably the first real work he's had to do tonight.
Yeah, first iffy moment from him as well. You could see the ball spun in. He hesitated just a fraction of a second on whether or not to go. Didn't manage getting to it, but his defense is there to bail him out.
So S2 keeps the clean sheet for the moment. Now into the 90th minute. Still waiting to hear on how much stoppage time we'll have. Can't be too much. Rogers will thump this over on the far side to Hopi out. Bounced off of Farfan's shoulder, throwing for S2.
And you certainly won't see any hurry out of S2 to take this throw.
You're absolutely right, Andrews. Not a Sinkum walks up. Javorn Stevens. Good turn from him. He takes a shot, easily handled by McIntosh. Trying to get himself involved in the action. Stevens. Damraoui again. Bijev. Cicerone. Cicerone does very well, gets through. Cicerone still going, incredible work from him to the top. Cleared away well by Rogers. Hansen still going, he picks up the foul. Excellent work there by Russell Cicerone. And we have been told 3 minutes of stoppage time.
The way Timbers 2 are playing right now, 3 minutes is going to be an eternity for this Sounders 2 back line.
Absolutely right. Lots of pressure here now from T2, especially in the last 10 minutes. Saw Bijev hit the crossbar with that incredible effort. Nice skills there by Russell Cicerone. Sam Rogers just had to lunge in and block that off. Bijev was waiting at the top of the box. Ball's put in, it's flicked on. It's going to be a goal kick for S2.
Once again, Timbers 2 closing in at the death. Clever little flick there, just inches from the top right corner. And still just this Timbers 2 team, after a while, you have to use the word snake bit.
Good ball in by Omar Mohammed. It's just not going in. Stevens looking to chase that one down. Really long ball, man. McIntosh. Williams, can he get there? T2 have a corner.
Big.
Still a chance. T2, everybody in. with the exception of Farfan and McIntosh. Muhammad whips it in. Ball still bouncing around, not cleared. Hansen with an effort, incredible one at that, but straight to Meredith. Easy hands, he'll lay on it.
Wonderful creativity as this ball squirts out atop the 18. Hansen, why not? Brian Meredith does a great job to track that out of the air. Quickly here at the other end, the ball's in McIntosh's hands.
Just like that, Stevens looking to get it. Falls to McIntosh. Rogers. S2 just looking for this time to click down, get their second win in a row.
And it's a game that started end to end and finishes end to end, Aaron.
And there it is. Final score here at Starfire Sports Stadium. Seattle Sounders 2-2. Portland Timbers 2-0. And their streak continues. They cannot get a victory here. It was a good effort from Timbers 2 tonight. Early PK from Sounders 2. And that lucky goal in the second half. We'll have a couple highlights here as we talk about the goals tonight. But you have to feel a little bit for Timbers too, huh, Andrew?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, again, Bijev goes off the crossbar. Cheney's just offside. Harold Hansen goes for a great twisting bicycle kick effort that goes straight to Brian Meredith's hands. And there's so many dangerous chances in the first half as well. It's just a matter of, again, can't get one to fall in. At the end, they trail on the only stat line that matters.
It all went well for Sounders 2 tonight. We'll take a look here how they scored their first goal. Here are the highlights. It starts with that ball. Shannon Hopiau finding Olsen. He puts it across.
Yeah, just great job all the way around. Harold Hansen, unlucky to leave his foot in there. Maybe got caught in the sun. Kendall McIntosh certainly gets caught in the sun, as Irvin Parra, no doubt, all the way. That made it 1-0 early on, just the 6th minute.
T2, though, would come alive, and then this early on in the second half.
Just an unfortunate first touch from Batista, and a very, very clever and, yes, fortunate touch from Irvin Parra. Kendall McIntosh too far out. Nothing that anyone can do about that one. And one of the stranger 2-0s I've seen in my day.
Well, they all count no matter how they go in, but here is T2's effort in the very end. Bijev is exactly how he got his goal the last time he was here, but it wasn't to be this time.
Yeah, you can see there, right down on the line, and Cheney just a step or two offside. He can't believe it, but at the end, the Timbers 2 go home disappointed, and S2 and their fans, who are celebrating right now, are going home very happy indeed.
Well, S2 now jumped to 500 at 4-4, their second straight win in a row. T2 dropped to 1-7. A frustrating night for Andrew Greger and his players, but they will carry on. Their next match is against Colorado Springs on May 10th. S2 will head out on the road, and they have their work cut out for them May 13th at San Antonio. Exciting night, big win for S2 here at Starfire Sports Stadium. The final score again, Seattle Sounders FC 2-2, Portland Timbers FC 0. For Andrew Harvey, I'm Aaron Heinzen. Everybody in our wonderful production at Bootstrappers, good night.